Will Rogers was just a huge fan of baseball. He loved baseball. He said America became a great country under baseball and began to flop when it took up a lot of poor substitutes. And so, Will Rogers went to baseball games, talked about how great the game was, went to the World Series, and we thought, what a way to honor Will Rogers by playing baseball in about his era. He was born in 1879, and we got a great picture of him as a kid playing baseball, and from about that time. And so we found a couple of teams that play 1880s baseball, and we did it at the birthplace last year, and this year we've got it here at the Will Rogers Memorial, and it's just been a lot of fun. Well, our creative curator, Bart Taylor, did an exhibit on Will Rogers' love of baseball about 10 years ago, and we just started talking about maybe doing something like this in honor of Will. And so we found these two teams, one out of Topeka, Kansas, another out of North Texas, and they came up and played. And you got the long sleeve shirts and long pants, and last year when we did this, it was about 110 degrees out, and this year it's beautiful weather today. But it's a fun game and a great way to honor Will Rogers and one of his passions. I think the biggest difference is your hands. There's no gloves, so you got to play with bare hands. And the baseball is about the same. It looks a little bit different, but it's pretty hard as well. All wooden bats. I think the biggest thing as far as in the field is you get an out off of one bounce too. So even if it's a foul tip, if the catcher catches the ball or off of one bounce, you're out. Or if he hits it out in the outfield or infield, one bounce catches it and you're out. So that's a big difference. And then there's others on the base running. You got to run. You can't run through first base. You got to stop on first. Of course, the pitcher is all underhand pitching at this time, so it's a little bit slower as far as the pitching goes. But no helmets or any safety gear. And but the biggest, like I said, is just no gloves. So you got to get used to catching the ball without a glove. And these guys play in leagues and tournaments around the country. So I think our hope is we can kind of build this up, get the community to come up. We got a beautiful hill setting up here. They can bring their blankets out and bring their lawn chairs and sit and watch the ball game. And so we'd sure like to keep this as a tradition of these teams coming in. If we can get a few more teams to come and kind of make it a 1880s round robin all day kind of deal, I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. So we've had also kind of build our own local team. So we recruited some baseball players locally and some that old-timer baseballs like myself, and so we play and just have a great time out here playing the game. Yeah, we actually have a new exhibit coming up. It's called Will Rogers for President. So with the presidential race starting up and next year being the election, we thought, Will Rogers in 1928 did a mock run for the presidency, and everybody loved it. People wanted him to be the president and run for president, but he didn't want to do that. So yeah, we have a new exhibit coming. So if you can come to the Will Rogers Memorial, you get to see our baseball exhibit and then also see our new exhibit about Will Rogers and his run for the presidency.